I've been looking forward to filming this video. This one is 2 swallows spiced rum, and this one is the candied fruits with salted caramel, and this is the brand spanking new cherry with salted caramel. These 2 swallows rums, they are the baby brothers of the grenades that I featured previously. They're the 2 other rums out of the Rockstar Spirits stable, aka Thomas Hurst, aka the guy I've talked about quite a lot in these videos recently, the old J founder, and then he went on to launch these guys. These are kind of the newest rums out of the stables. The Grapefruit Grenade is also new as well, but these are the kind of 65% ABV rums. These are much more accessible 38% spiced rum. So why 2 swallows and why Captain Webb? As you can see him on the label there. Well, I love a marketing story. Don't we all love a marketing story? So I'm going to actually read you the back of the bottle because these marketing stories are brilliant. Thomas G. Hurst, the multi-award-winning spiced rum creator, has made 2 swallows in tribute to his famous Victorian ancestor, Captain Matthew Webb. That's my surname, by the way. It's not Barman, in case you didn't realise that. That's my surname, Webb. Perhaps we're related. The naval captain rose to fame in 1875 when he became the first man to swim the English Channel. Webb drowned in 1883 while swimming in a whirlpool rapids at Niagara Falls. In naval tradition, when a sailor drowns, the 2 swallows in their tattoos will carry their souls up to heaven. So there we go. We love a little marketing story there. We can see the 2 swallows on the label. We can see Captain Webb there in the corner. Perhaps he's my ancestor too. Perhaps, personally, perhaps we are related. The reason I'm so excited to try these, I actually tried this. I can't remember when. I think it was actually March, and it was the Northern Bar Show. I think that's when I first tried that one. That is brand spanking new, but I absolutely love. He's just, in my opinion, he's a genius with the flavour combinations. I mean, grapefruit and honeycomb that is absolutely banging with Coke. I mean, who'd have thought that? And then the pineapple grenade, salted caramel, which is my favourite, is the Schweppes Muscovado mixer. Just amazing. But I know Tom wanted to create 2 spiced rums that were just absolutely amazing and go-to accessible rums to drink with Coke. So I'm not going to do a free-for-all mixer, all these mixes. I'm not going to try that. I'm going to try this with Coke live on video. Now, if you like the sound of these rums and you want to buy them, the cherry I've been waiting, it is now out there. It's everywhere online, Amazon, my wholesalers, so Master Malt and thedrinkshop.com. That's where I get them from. Price wise will be anything between 18 and 22, 24 pounds, so a bit cheaper than they're about 30 pounds for the grenades, so a lot cheaper. I'll pop links in the show notes of where you can get them from. But if you're just new to the whole sort of Rockstar Spirits and their rums, as I mentioned, the reason why I kind of like them, they do actually talk about the provenance of where the rums come from. They are loud and proud with their base spirit. Their base spirit is the Diamond Distillery in Guyana. One of my favourite all-time rums, El Dorado, especially the 12-year-old. Absolutely love El Dorado. Kind of that sort of Demerara, sort of slightly sort of thicker, sugary taste. I absolutely love that. So, and I still haven't looked, I should do, but I think it's somehow connected to Pepsi as well. The Diamond Distillery somehow is connected to making Pepsi. So I absolutely love the base spirits. As I say, not many other rums will go loud and proud of where, or spiced rums I should say, will go loud and proud of where they get their base rum from. These guys, Diamond Distillery in Guyana, cracking, absolutely award-winning rums, and just you can tell in the final product. So let's talk about the first spiced rum. I think it came out at the start of 2019. I'm not sure whether it was 2018 tail end, but certainly 2019 is when I became aware of it. Basically, the rum from the Diamond Distillery was shipped back to the UK, Manchester, and it's spiced up, traditional kind of spices in there. So you've got cinnamon, cloves, probably a bit of nutmeg, vanilla, and ginger, obviously ginger, and then they add the sort of candied fruits, the kind of lemons and oranges, maybe some limes in there. and then they add caramel and then a touch of rock salt just to kind of balance the flavour out. Then apparently with the cherry one, the cherry is done in exactly the same way. So you've got those traditional spices, but instead of the candied fruit that goes into that one, they replace it with cherry and then obviously the caramel and the rock salt, and that balances all out. Now I'm super excited. I've never tried that. The bottle is still sealed there. As I say, I did try that fleetingly about 6 months ago. So I haven't had a bottle, haven't tried it properly, haven't had a drink with it yet. It was tried neat, certainly haven't tried it with Coke. And as I've said, they've launched these to try and create the perfect sort of spiced rum and Coke drink. So first off, I'm going to start with the candied fruits and salted caramel one. I'm going to have a little smell and then we're going to have a little taste. So let's crack it. There we go. Right. Wow, some great smells coming off there. Kind of a complex aroma on there. Actually get bags of vanilla. The caramel comes through afterwards, but then just right in the background, you get that sort of subtle hint of citrus. That is really, really lovely to smell. Right, let's taste it. So let's put a little glug in there. Right, let's give it a little swirl. Anything different? As I reckon if you put it in the glass, I reckon actually I can smell it. The sort of the citrus really comes off there a lot more now. Kind of, it just, so many different aromas going on. That smells absolutely lovely. I can't wait to taste this. Right. Wow, that is really surprising actually. On the nose, right, as soon as you get it up there, you get the caramel, a little bit of vanilla, and the citrus. In the mouth, the first thing you noticed, it's quite let's go posh word, it's quite viscous, it's quite sort of thick in kind of texture. But I tell you, when that goes down, the aftertaste just opens up. You get all those kind of spices, and even now, the longer it lingers down the throat, I get so many more different spices. I've got clove, I've got cinnamon in there. Got a real sort of kick of ginger at the end, but that is just beautifully balanced out with the sort of citrus in there. Oh, that is absolutely amazing. Really, really love that. And I think the thing as well, even so, I did Old J a few days ago, and I noticed with that there was no sort of alcoholic kick at all. It was 35% ABV. This is only slightly stronger, 38. So it is legally and technically a spiced rum, but that ABV difference, you do get the sort of alcohol kick, but I think that really kind of helps to bring all those spices forward. That is just absolutely lovely. Right, let's put that to one side. Let's move on to the cherry one now. So we can do exactly the same. Cherry, let's crack this. Never tried, smelt or anything. This is brand spanking new. There we go. Wow, on the nose. Again, all those different aromas, but obviously the big aroma that comes out is cherry. Really does kind of remind me, you know, those red sort of maraschino cherries that you get in cocktails and that from the sort of 80s and 90s. We're bringing them back now. That's what it really reminds me of, those kind of maraschino cherries. But there is a lot of spice and a lot of caramel in there as well. Can't wait to taste this. Right, let's do it. So we've got a nice kind of bronzy colour in there actually. It's kind of a little bit different to the bottle. Right, let's pop another ice cube in there. Give it a swirl. Again, it's all those cherry notes with a subtle hint of, maybe the spice dies down a little bit, but those subtle hints of caramel in there. Right, here we go. I cannot wait to try this. Love cherry. Cherry Coke's amazing. Right. Wow. He has done it again. That is just an... I was expecting it to taste completely the opposite to how it does actually taste. What I was expecting was big, bold cherry notes, kind of like a cherry liqueur, kind of like a cherry brandy in a sense, like cherry just hitting you. And it isn't. Actually, it's a very, very well balanced, subtle hint of cherry, the spice, probably more. Whereas that one was kind of, you tasted the sort of nutmeg and the cinnamon and cloves in it. Actually, that for me is kind of more reminiscent of more peppery kind of a flavour in there. But you do get the hints of spice, a bit of ginger. I want to say honey as well. Maybe I'm getting a bit of honey on there. But that's just stunningly balanced. Absolutely amazingly balanced. Right, what I'm going to do now, because he wanted to create, do you know what? I actually think I'm going to do a separate video with these, with the mixes. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to have a good play with all of these mixes. But what I want to do now, while I'm filming, so I've never tasted it, he wanted to create the perfect rums to go with Coke. So that is what I'm going to taste now. We should have enough in there. I've got a nicely chilled can. I always use Coke Zero. I know their social media have been rolling out these sort of the Coke signature ones as well, the spicy and the woody. I'm just going plain Coke for the time being. I'll play about with those in a separate video. Right, I don't want to drown it too much. There we go, bit more. Right, so let's go first one. This is the Candied fruits. I tell you what, that quite happily. Wow. I filmed this a couple of weeks ago. I said the Chairman's Reserve Spiced Rum was probably my favourite rum and coke to date. I think that might have just eclipsed it. That is amazing. Love that. It doesn't need, sometimes I put a wedge of lime in my rum and cokes just to give it that citrus burst. It doesn't need it at all. I can't put that down. That's absolutely lovely. Wow. That is nice. That is really, really nice. Right. This is the cherry, normal Coke. Again, the Coke. I'd say, actually, that's really weird. The Coke really brings out the sort of subtle hint of cherry even more. That is a very lovely and subtle cherry Coke. Love that. But a great thing, so I'm not brilliant at explaining things. What that does, it's the spiced rums there. You've got a 38% ABV spiced rum. But the spices that are really in there, the ginger really come through. The sort of peppery notes on that one really come through. The kind of the cinnamon in there and the cloves in that one. They are just amazing spiced rums. I'm going to go, right, if you love your spiced rums, if I don't care what you drink, if you're a Sailor Jerry fan, if you're a Captain Morgan's fan, if you're Kraken, Old J, whatever spiced rums you drink, Dead Man's Fingers. Let's not forget Dead Man's Fingers. I've still got a real soft spot for Dead Man's Fingers. If you're kind of any sort of spiced rum fan, get online, get hold of a bottle of these and let me know what you think, because I really think that this will change your perception of what spiced rums, going into 2020, I think spiced rum's going to be huge. These will change your perceptions of what spiced rums should actually taste like.